Hi Year 10, today you're going to be answering question 2 of the exam paper, and that will be a describe question, okay? So this will be worth 8 marks, and all 8 marks are going to be for the quality of your answer. There's no marks for spelling, punctuation or grammar. You want to aim to complete this question in 8 minutes, and you want to spend no more than 10 minutes on it, okay? So that's including planning it and giving it a quick proofread. I know it's hard to stick to this structure when you're at home doing online learning, but if you can try and do it in the 8 minutes, that would be absolutely fantastic. One thing to note is the success criteria / structure of this question will always be the same no matter what the actual question is asking of you. So how you answer it will be exactly the same no matter whether you're asked about prohibition, the Wall Street crash, or the segregation laws. They're always going to be answered in the same way. The first thing you want to do when you answer any exam question is ensure that you're aware of the key words in that question, because this is going to help you to remain focused on what the examiner wants you to write about. So your question today is describe how the different groups within American society campaigned for the introduction of prohibition. The key words are going to be different groups, campaigned, and introduction of prohibition. So when we say different groups, we're not just talking about one group here. We want you to discuss as many as possible. So for example, the Anti-Saloon League, the Women's Christian Temperance Union, and the Methodist and Baptist people who were known as the Dries, okay? When we say campaigned, we mean what did they actually do? And introduction of prohibition, how did this in turn lead to prohibition being introduced, okay? So 4 steps to answer this question. Make sure you only include information that is directly relevant to the question. It's also really good practice to start your answer using words from the question. So for example, prohibition was introduced as a result of the campaigns of various groups. The third thing you need to do is make sure that you cover specific factual details such as dates, events and the names of people, rather than just being vague by saying in the 1920s. Okay, you want to focus on actual dates there. And number 4, you want to aim to cover a number of key points in detail. So not just one point, you want to talk about a couple. So today I'm going to show you an example answer, and that will be around describing what happened during the Wall Street crash of October 1929. The first thing you've got to do is introduce the topic, maintaining a clear focus on what the question is actually asking you. Okay, so have a pause, read through that, see what you think, and see how you could mould that to answer your question. Okay, moving on then to step number 2. Step number 2 says you need to provide specific factual detail covering a range of key points. So if you want to have a look at this, it would be 24th of October, so that's a specific date. 12 million shares, so there's a statistic there for you. Black Thursday, which is the actual name of that specific day. Okay, so there's lots of factual detail involved in that. Have a pause, quick read, see how you can manipulate that to answer your question. Step 3 then, you want to aim to provide good context to the event you're describing, okay? So don't just go in with prohibition was introduced, you want to build a little bit of background to it. And by doing that, you could say why prohibition was needed and why these groups felt that alcohol consumption in America was getting a little bit too much, okay? That's the final step that you're going to do to answer this question. And the last thing I want you to have a look at, once you pause and have a read of this, will be the success criteria. So quick pause, have a read, and we'll move on. Okay, so the last thing then to have a look at is the success criteria for this question. And I would assume that we would all want to be in this band, so demonstrating detailed historical knowledge to describe the issue set within appropriate historical context. Okay, so with 30 seconds left, good luck Year 10, and I'll see you soon.